everyone, and how are you doing all today? I hope you all are fine today. So today I'm back with my another video, and in this video I will be actually giving you some very useful tips that how you can actually start learning English and how you can speak English like the native speakers. Maybe you can actually speak better than me. Actually it all requires practice. If you do practice, then obviously you can actually speak better than somebody who actually you take maybe inspiration from, or maybe who you actually make your idol. So I'm not saying that I'm your idol. Maybe someone else is your idol, like Mr. Duncan can be an idol as well. He's actually my idol. So he's really a tremendous guy. He's really a very good native speaker, and he teaches in a very good way. Maybe you should also go and try his lessons. That's really useful. Okay, so let's come to our today's lesson, our today's tips. So the first tip we're going to talk about is that how you can improve, how you can speak English in a better way, how you can speak English comprehensively like the native speakers. The first thing that you really need is confidence. Yes, you heard it right. It's actually called confidence, and this is the first ingredient that you need to make your English go to that level, higher level I mean, or to the peak of the higher level. So the first thing that you must need is confidence. Without confidence, it doesn't matter, thousands of vocabularies, millions of grammatical rules. They will be just, totally waste of time, and that would be completely futile, and you would not be able to speak even a single word if you don't have a good confidence. Confidence to speak in front of someone. Like right now I'm actually speaking with you guys. I'm actually speaking through the videos, and I also talk to my Chinese students daily on Skype. So I actually have a great confidence of speaking English. So you should also try to gain the same kind of confidence, and it will definitely help you to speak English in a comprehensive way. So now let's go for the second tip. So my second tip is going to be learning vocabularies. Vocabularies are the most essential part of speaking English. If you don't have vocabularies, then might be the confidence is never going to play any role. So vocabularies are definitely very important. So what you need to know, okay, now the second question is that how to learn vocabularies and how to remember vocabulary. This is a very big issue that many students face. So let me answer this question now. If you really want to remember a single vocabulary for a long time, you should imagine that vocabulary in your mind and try to make an image or try to make a hint in your mind. Like for example, I was actually watching a movie called Tare Zameen. That was a very fabulous movie, and there I actually heard one sentence that if you want to remember a word like apple, so what you do, you actually try to imagine a kind of ball, type of object in your mind, and you actually color it with red. So then you remember that this is actually called apple, because now you know the shape and you know the color. So whenever you actually see something like that, you probably know that that is apple. Okay, so this is how you can actually learn new vocabularies and try to use them in your daily routine conversations. And now let's go for the next tip. The third one is going to be pronunciation. Yes, pronunciation is also very important, because if your pronunciation is not good, you would never be able to make other people understand what you mean. So therefore the pronunciation is very much essential, very important, necessary, or you can say indispensable. You cannot keep without vocabularies, or sorry, pronunciation. Okay, so now let's go for the next one. So the next tip is listening skills. Listening skills are also a very important part of learning English. If you really want to learn English and want to speak in a good way, you should start listening to the native speakers and try to understand that how they're speaking and try to imitate them. Try to listen and then repeat after them. That will probably help you to understand that how the native speakers speak, and it will also allow you to speak just like them. Like I usually do the same activity. I usually listen to the BBC and then try to, repeat after them, and that's how I speak. Okay, so now let's go for the next one. The next one is going to be the conversation practice. Practice definitely makes man perfect. If you do the conversation practice, it will be very useful to build up your confidence, build up your vocabularies, and try to find somebody who can definitely help you in learning English. You should try to find a good English speaker who's maybe better than you, and you get a chance to learn something new that you have never learned before, like maybe a new word, a new pronunciation, or anything. Even the accent. But accent is actually very difficult to get. So now let's go for the next one. Reading newspapers or reading comprehensions are also very important. You definitely need to do that. You need to read newspapers, you need to read news, especially you should follow BBC and CNN. You can find such great vocabularies there. So reading is also very important. And the next one is of course going to be grammar. Many people believe that grammar is actually not a very important part of learning English, but for a non-native speaker it becomes really important, because when you are learning English, you actually need to correct your, sentences. You need to speak grammatically correct. Like for example, if I say, or even in your writing, let's suppose if I write, let's eat, Grandma. Or I say, let's eat, Grandma. So, these are actually the two sentences, and grammatically they're different from each other, and meaning-wise also pretty different. Like the first sentence, let's eat, Grandma, it means that you want to eat Grandma. You want to, make her a dinner or maybe a lunch. That is really, anyway. So, and when you say let's eat, Grandma, that is actually called, you are offering or maybe requesting your grandma to eat with you. So this is actually, the importance of grammar, that if you really want to speak grammatically correct, so you need to learn grammar. And what to learn in grammar? You need to learn tenses, parts of speech, all the adjective, nouns, etc. And you also need to learn the modal verbs, something like that. Okay. And the next one is going to be practice. Practice again and again is actually very important. You need to practice on daily basis. Of course, daily basis is actually very important. Like you need to practice at least 1 hour in a day. At least 1 hour in a single day. So you need to do it for 7 days. You don't have to be like slacker. You don't need to be a slacker at all. Only one time in a week. That is so not good for learning English. So you need to practice daily. And the last one is going to be revision. Revision is very, very important. It's really indispensable. Because if you don't do revision, you would definitely forget what you have learned so far. Like for example, you can take my example. If I don't speak maybe for a month or for 1 year, then probably I would actually lose my accent. I would actually lose my correct pronunciation. And there's a chance that I would also forget that how to speak correctly. Maybe I would actually lose some grammatical skills as well. So I need to practice again and again, and I need to revise whatever I've studied so far. So these were all the tips that you actually needed to speak English in a comprehensive way. and I hope that from now on you will be doing exactly as I told you. You know what? I actually shared all of my experience, that whatever I've done. So what you need to do is try to follow, these steps, and inshallah your English will be very, sounding very good. So that's all from this, tips class. So that's all. Thank you very much, and ta-ta for now. Take care. Bye bye.
Let it go, make my body go. Make our bodies higher and higher. Let it go, make my body go. Make our bodies higher.